Championship, but unfortunately, as we've seen in the World Championship, via the fact that we've got 7 long lap penalties, there's a fair bit of dawdling goes on here as well. Good performance from a couple of
Moreira and Tapia. Shout out for him, that's his first from Gardo, Matsuyama and Ortola on row 2. Garcia, Vanden Gorberg and Munoz. First ever top 10 qualifying. He's been threatening that as well, Josh Watley. 10-1, so Marcos Uriarte, who got a podium, of course, last time out, and Joel Kelso, who won last time out. He starts 15th. Salvador, Nishimura and Fusco on row 3. Then we have Aegius, Volpe and Colin Via, another of the long lap penalty gang. And we have Rouget, Ruda and...
What else other than Danny Holdgall? For the first time in his career, he's the pre-race favourite. He's got the pace to pull away. Can anybody get in his way? Here we go. Junior World Championship action from Aragon is underway. Rueda fires from pole position. Has he got the start? It looks good to me. It's only a pocket rocket. It's the 95, and he's going to be joined behind by the championship leader Holgado. He fires through from the second row of the grid to settle into second, with Moreira there in third. Yeah, great launch from Holgado. He just got straight through the middle of the two Australia Glacier bikes and up into second place. It wasn't such a great start, unfortunately, for Tapia on the inside of the front row on the Leopard bike. He's been shuffled back to 6th. He's got Ortola just ahead in a moment. But as it is at the moment, this is what they all feared. Rueda out front into his rhythm. Can he get through this back straight unscathed is the main question. Holgado knows that if he's going to get on terms with Rueda and stop him getting away, he needs to attack early. Don't be surprised to see Holgado get his elbows out early. That's a big crash. The 33 gone down. That is... Boazri, unfortunately. It is. Yeah. Tachikon Boazri. They have already been communicated, by the way, that they can have their long lap penalty, so maybe Watley has already taken one of those. Either that or it was him that made the mistake and ran wide. And of course, with 2 long lap penalties to take, he can precious afford those as they come out of the front, led by Ortola. Yeah, they're just starting to stretch it out at the front of these 3, Rueda, Holgado and Moreira. They have got that advantage to Ortola in 4th. He knew he had to make a move on Max of getting on terms with this leading group. There's your confirmation at the bottom of the screen of the riders that now can serve their long lap penalties. The 70, of course, they can see on screen of Josh. Change at the front just yet. Still a 1-3 for the Australia Galicia team. Looking comfortable, but not dominating just yet. Great start from Rueda then, from pole position. The first time he sat there, I'm sure there were nerves in the belly of the 95, because everyone is expecting him to win this race. If he doesn't, I'm sure it would be a disappointment given the weekend he's had so far. But so far, really being in amongst it at the sharp end all weekend long. 4th in qualifying was good, but you're normally expecting to see him up on the front row, but he really is finding his feet on Sunday. Up and okay. At the front though, another lap ticks by, and it's still Rueda that leads the way. Yeah, and Kelso, the fastest rider on track now, he's getting up to speed now, whether he's running, whether he's feeling slightly better. That must be Tapia on the Leopard bike, who's been shuffled a little bit back from his front row start. He's now down to 8th. Elsewhere in this leading group, Mario Adji's in a good position as well. He's just ahead of that Leopard bike. You can see him there on the number 16. He's still got to go to the long lap penalty, and with a little bit of a gap building already to the pack behind, this might be the time to take it, and indeed he does. So there goes Adji through the long lap penalty loop. Joel Kelso would have seen that. He has to go through it himself still as well. Adji losing what, about 3 seconds there. He's just going to file in front of Marcus. Maybe slightly less than that, actually, because there's a slight gap now because of the missing Mario Adji, who of course has jumped out of that leading group with his long lap penalty. So we've got to try maybe at the back of this leading group, or is he going to go up the inside already? He's going to try, but he's not going to get through on Ortola. So 4 riders away at the front at the moment, and Ortola is the fastest of them. Fastest lap of the race last time around. Yeah, he's looked good here as Ortola. Didn't get the start he would have wanted, but he's picked his way through the field quite impressively so far to find himself sat in 3rd. And I tell you what, having got ahead of Moreira, he's quickly detached. Also, he's just done a little gesture with his left hand there. I wonder whether he's just communicating to Garcia that he's going through the long lap penalty lane, as it really bunches up now amongst that leading group. Kelso, I think, has gone through the long lap penalty lane. You probably see him flash at the bottom of the screen. There he is. As to where, we'll find out in the time of this race. But at the moment, there's a bit of a queue forming up behind him. So far, so good for Takuma Matsuyama there as well. He has dropped back a place from 5th to 6th with David Munoz ahead of him, but he's been towed along here, and been dragged time. And I tell you what, Rueda has got a fight on his hands here, because not only has Holgado gone through, but Ortola has managed to find a way through as well. And the young Spaniard is up against it. He's not going to have it his own way here in Aragon. Holgado, the championship leader.
Because ideally, he'd wanted to be in his rhythm out front and just set his own pace. He's not going to be able to do that now. He's got his teammate just behind him in Morera, and we'll see if there's any sort of team strategy between those two not to attack each other too much. But we're up the inside of Dani Holgado. Rueda still keeping a bit of a watching brief in third, but this is now interesting. Ortola hits the front for the first time really in this race. We saw in the European Talent Cup race a few moments ago that you don't really want to lead onto this back straight, certainly not at the end of the race when the points are finally handed out. But we'll see what kind of drive Ortola gets. He gets a pretty good launch off turn 15 actually, puts one or two bike lengths ahead of Holgado, but look how quickly that closes up.
A lot bigger, especially compared to the likes of Holgado and Rueda, who are probably no more than 5'2", 5'3". Ortola is all up as well, 4 abreast into the opening corner, and Munoz. Oh, tell you what, that was sketchy for a second there, but he gets it done, and suddenly the 64 is through to third. Yeah. Well, I don't think there's any excuse for that. He knew that it was coming. He saw the signs everywhere. So now 2 long lap penalties for Carraro. I tell you what, the reason he might not have taken it is...
See now, I think, what kind of pace he's got. He's now having a go at Ortola, who got a bit missed. Well, I don't think he was quite in the position he wanted to be there. Got out on the curbs on the way into turn 15 and didn't do anything about Holgado, and if anything, he's losing a spot.
I tell you what, Rueda was a lucky boy there. He nearly had his front end chopped. 3 abreast into the opening corner. Rueda will surely move through to second. He's going to hit the front. He's so late on the brakes there. Somehow he gets it stopped, though. And the 95 is back at the lead of this race.
Yeah, this will all be music to the ears of Daniel Munoz, out injured. And he's doing a good job at the moment. Daniel Munoz, don't forget, he's
over 1 lap, but his race pace has been sensational. Kev Coughlin, team manager of the Australian Galicia squad, reckons he's got half a second a lap.
Next fastest guy on that lap. So Kelso, you might see him when they come out to 15. You'll probably see him on the 66, the HER red bike, just trying to get on terms. There he is, leading that chase group, trying to get in on terms with the leaders. He appears at the moment to have some pretty good pace. He might not be out of this yet. The winner last time out in Portimao, he's bringing that group along with him. We'll see how many can go along with him as Rueda tries to defend and does hold off Munoz out front. But this leading group of 6 at the moment, it might become more than 6 very short. Penalty rider from earlier on, and Garcia in that leading group, they're all pretty much going with him. Even Uriarte and Tapia, they're in the 59s. The second group that you can see just at the back of screen, they are clearly faster at the moment than the riders ahead of them, who are lapping in the low to mid 2 minutes range. These guys are fast, they're closing fast at the moment.
He's trying to drag them all clear, but he's not doing a good job of it just yet. I think the alarm bells might start to be ringing in a couple of laps if these guys can latch themselves on.
Absolutely. But Holgado is still sitting there in third. Ortola just behind him, who's trying to, and this is Sayama actually, who did a 1:59.9. Slower lap that time from Kelso. His momentum halted slightly. He was faster than the leaders, but not by as much.
Rueda.
Yeah, exactly. And if I was Rueda, I'd be giving the hand gesture to say, just follow me, guys, because this is not helping us at the moment. This is giving the likes of Kelso, Adji and Garcia a little bit of encouragement. That gap is visible, might well be starting to warm to the task here.
It's anyone's guess who's going to be fighting for victory on the final lap at this rate. There is that chasing group of 6 battling their way through at the moment. It involves Kelso, Adji, Uriarte, Tapia, Van den Gorberg and Salvador. We could have 13 right on the inside. He's going to have to go the long way. Not that it matters though. Look at that. The pace of that gas machine is evident there. The 96 of Holgado. He's spicy at the front here. Ortola hard onto the brakes, finds second spot, and it's these 4 battling it out once again. As Sud has said, Matsuyama keeping his powder dry, as is Moreira. And look, they're with them now. They are with them. Kelso has done an incredible job. Remember, he's had a long lap penalty. Right. And that gas machine just has the top end advantage. It looks over the Honda. Of course, the gas just a rebadged KTM. What a performance this is from the 66. It comes alongside both Munoz and Rueda. He's going to dive through up to third. What a ride from Joel Kelso. A long lap penalty hasn't stopped him one iota, and Antonio Rueda, having started from pole and been the pre-race favourite, is down to 6. He's getting bullied out there. Munoz fights back. Remember, 150 points, 5 races remaining after this one. It could be a lead of almost 75 if Holgado was to win it, but is there. and they're all going to try and jump ahead of the championship leader on the break. All remaining side by side is Holgado on Ortola. As here comes Rueda, he swings to the inside. Kelso looking for a move through as well, and the Australian looking for back-to-back victories. Now through to second spot. Garcia holds off Muddy's race. It doesn't look like it at all. Naranjito, of course, spotting the orange on the top of the helmet as a result of the ginger locks underneath. Could be on course here for a sensational Ortola unable to find an answer there as Munoz in the back of the picture picks his way through on championship leader Holgado. And here comes Holgado, the championship leader, looking to get back in amongst it, as does Rueda as well. He's popped out from nowhere as the diminutive Spaniard through to third, with Munoz now second behind Ortola. Comes Rueda up the inside, now into second. This is good stuff, great racecraft from the Spaniard. He's been up against it, bullied at times, you would have to say, by the older, the bigger, the more experienced riders, but he's finally picking his moment, wins. But meanwhile, Rueda leads with 2 laps to go here in Aragon. Into turn 2 we go. Ortola there, sat second with Munoz behind. Trio just able to broken ever so slightly clear. Holgado trying to go with them, but there is just pockets of spaces here and there just starting to open up. The pace of Rueda is just stretching this group out. They were nose to tail a couple of laps to go, but suddenly Rueda, having hit the front and putting his head down, is just starting to test a lot of the riders behind. Down, well, he may well have to give way to Ortola, but he finds a cutback almost. A brave move, couldn't work though, and it's Ortola that leads then and will start looking for a way through. Holgado's in amongst it as well. Who's going to lead through the opening corner? It is Rueda that retakes back control. Oh, that's Mario Aggi that's gone down. Disappointing end to a great race for Aggi, having been through the long lap penalty loop once. Oh, that's a great shame. The misfortune continues for the Indonesian. He's out of what would have been a top 10 finish. At the front, still Rueda leads, and Surely's beneath him would be perfect down the back straight. Can he manage to find his way and position himself perfectly? Time running out for everyone else here. Rueda still leading. In towards the reverse corkscrew for the final time. Right, then left. No way through there. With Uriarte up to 5th, he has been special to draft his way through to victory from 4th, into the chicane for the final time. No way through for anyone else. Rueda will lead them out the final corner, just as it was. Stream as much as he possibly can do. He'll hug the white line on the left-hand side, go defensive. Ortola will go the long way round and surely get it done as well. There goes Munoz, squeezing through the pair of them. The 64 of David Munoz has squeezed through a gap that surely wasn't there. And is he going to be the man to take victory here? An unlikely one. Rueda goes left, Holgado goes right, but it's Munoz that takes victory. Oh, what a race that was. David Munoz, victorious in the Junior World Championship for the first time in his career. What a final lap. He started it in 4th, picked off the championship leader, and then squeezed his way through.